Here is what's terrible to look at if you just look at like what is behind saying that abortion is illegal now. That's something that only women could be concerned about. I mean, men are concerned about it too, but when I'm saying it's the concern, it's it's concerning women, their bodies and their decisions. Well, what it's telling me is that there is a presence out there in the world that says your feelings don't matter. And the way you get out of it is you just turn your back. And there is a lot of discipline that women need to get involved with, and a lot of it is just communicating. You should, we are already experiencing punishment of births that are happening where lives are just wasted. It's a complete wasted life because it's an exact same perpetuation of the last lives, which that's not supposed to happen. Children are God's phenomenon, like the cleaners. They come here and they are here to just drop whatever it was that the adults are hung up on. Even though adults seem to be passing it right over like it's the thing to do. But God gives children an edge and a way about them that, they just weasel their way through. But more and more we can see hijacking happening. And that's this presence on the planet who is suggesting all of these ways to do things. First of all, there is so many other ways to practice birth control. Way less violent, way less disgusting. Because what they've been doing with that, I don't even want to get into it, but they are taking human sacrament or whatever, sacrifice, and they're using it to do scientific experiments. And that shouldn't be going on, but through our consent, and we should be able to see the results of it, especially if it's to benefit us in any way. There is where we have an occupation that doesn't care but to benefit themselves and to manipulate the human organism into just being highly programmable all the time. Just keep them blank that it's even possible that we are responsible for programming ourselves. We're not just falling off the fucking wagon here each time we're born. We're being born more and more into ignorance that, say, doesn't know astrology, doesn't know how to farm or even cook, doesn't know what a certain herb is for from a certain herb here or there, doesn't know the depths of our presence here and how we affect reality with our vibrational frequency. There's a way to talk about it too, which it's never said, right? So nobody gets it. How long are we going to listen to these modern day mystics say it all wrong every time? They just jump. And all of a sudden it's like, you can control reality! And, the mind is the one who's in control. You can't just jump like that and start tossing words around because I know that is very important, really. If you're going to say something, say it right. Why do they have the word reality versus like thought? Is thought reality? No, it can never be, babes. This is where it's like a few of us are going to stay, and it's never going to work. That you're going to try and convince us. We understand what you're trying to say, but we're waiting for you to say it right so that we can say, yay! You didn't give the mind all the power. You gave the power to the truth, which is God. Man, and you women who think that you're a creator just because you had a child, you have another thing coming. Terrible, terrible. The way that you're going to cling to death if it happens, which we didn't come here to do that. If anything, we realize life is death. If you're a real woman, you say, yeah, I'm bringing death here. Why? Well, because I brought life here. I didn't just say I brought the most shitty thing in here. Unless you think that this whole experience is shitty, then okay, let's get back to how that women, where are you? That's all that question is to me, is like, why is it again that, oh, some asshole has the right to say that women can't choose this method of birth control anymore? Well, where are you women at? Where are you? What I'm dealing with here, and I'm 50 years old and I'm running into men. And now it's looking like I'm running into men that could be possibly to past the age 60, and they have never been with a woman who is in touch with her body. There's a lot of women who just, I can see it. I see it. My mom wasn't that way. My mom taught me as much as she could without there being the actual experience. She just says, the thing about my mother and my father and everybody else around them who were there at their vibrational frequency, they weren't afraid to just talk in front of their kids. They were talking about things that they were celebrating, reinforcing, yes, by the way, and this and that about the reality of such that is here and we celebrate. It was just adult conversations. Very hard to understand when you're a kid, but they are not budging. They're not going to alter their conversation just because a kid is there. Fuck you fucking people. You are showing them how to be inauthentic to your core values and what you need to express in that life right now. So there's this outer influence out there that is living that way, just expecting you that you are not going to get it. And so now we have to deal with it. And it keeps, just like the television said, it keeps everybody on this amazingly fucking same level when it's like, aren't we going to fucking progress into true intelligence already yet? No, that system is designed to keep you confused and at a level. I've worked for some people up here, they were women, who said just that, and they were talking this 20 years ago. Said, I don't go to a doctor because I figure out what's wrong with my body and I correct it, because a doctor isn't going to tell you anything anymore. They're going to align you up to a symptom that is coming from something that was caused. The system knows that they have caused that, so they go into a computer and they type and they say, well, yeah, there's the symptoms and here's the fake fucking cure for your fake fucking illness. And I call it fake, 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 because once you understand what's causing it, it could be your fake foods. In fact, it could be your fucking fake beliefs. Do you know that you have to keep scanning and thinking, well, no, is that the right thing for me? Is that really actually right for me right now? Is that really the truth that I need to swallow, or is there some deeper thing that is just like going to expose? It's like, it might tear apart your family. Who cares? Because a family is an illusion. And that is what's taking over more than just being a good friend. This is a real conversation that is not being had, and fucking poor kids and everybody sounds like I said, why is there the word friend versus mom, dad, family? Because one is an illusion and there's one that's more real. Each one of these people, friend, mom, dad, family, there's a possibility they can just be a good friend there. But you would have to get really lucky, especially nowadays. They won't even have this conversation with you. Nah, you just be sure to be a good friend to people. You're not lord overing anybody. You don't practice anything but what God has set here as the truth. And there is where a lot of suffering is going to come about, just because you're not looking. And you say, oh, God, why is he a punishing God? Nah, After a while, God is just not going to put up with a lot of things. And if you can't handle a knife on when He hands it to you, however the fuck it comes to you, it's your responsibility to take what He has given you as, say, your hands, your senses, and fucking use them to the best of your ability in case kids are watching. You don't wait for it to be all good. You fucking make it good by the way you approach it. And there is where alchemist comes in. You're not going to expect to be entitled to a perfect situation here. Just because you hit all the buttons and went through all the fucking chutes and ladders, you people have a rude awakening to come up to. They're not going to take care of you. A lot of people aren't taken care of, and they are shamelessly, really, they are not using their heads and figuring out, oh, that was actually just me being jacked by something that doesn't want to keep their promises. Come on, get real.